Good morning and good evening, and welcome to an episode of doing what I would be doing anyway if I wasn't actually streaming right now, which is drinking beer and driving trucks. How is everyone tonight and this morning? I am doing all good. Thank you for asking. I've got another. I bought one of the new DLCs for this, so I've got Missouri, I think. Yes, Missouri. And I've got myself situated and ready to go and pick up a job when we jump into things. I have no idea which sponsorship you're talking about. And what is the best state exactly? I don't know what American jingoism is for states. New York? New York State? What's NY? They all kind of suck. Oh, my DMs. What the fuck? What is this sponsor thing? Apex dynamic headset microphone. I beg your pardon? I do not know what that is or why it's here. I can't even see it myself, so I'm just not going to worry about it. It's the same thing here in Australia where you just every state other than yours is a good state, and even your state is run kind of shit. I do not know if I should be calling myself a VTuber. I only put that in there because I had Zatsudan, and I thought it was fitting. I'm under the assumption that if actual VTubers saw me using the name, they'd probably get upset, but hey, here I am. Yeah, I know it means virtual YouTuber, but I feel like there's a serious anime connotation to it at this point in time. I mean, I could add channel to the end of it. I think I can change my name again. Yeah, that's true. I'll jump on over into the game now. Got my lovely candy apple red Mack truck. Even if I was to get an actual VTuber like model made, I have no idea how would I envision it actually looking in my head. So I'm already set up with fuel ready to go, and I'm set to pick up a bunch of Peterbilt trucks to take from Springfield to St. Louis. I would never want to take the visual side of everything too seriously. I kind of like it all looking very choppy and memey. I need to convince Amy to jump into this with me. See if I can actually teach her how to drive properly. I wish I could somehow get my FF14 3D model. So I've put a lot of hours into that game and had a lot of good experiences in it, so I'd want to remember that time in some way. And being able to 3D print my character out, if I get someone to do that and get it painted and everything, that would be awesome. I do not know how she flipped a truck in this game. My friends and I have hit other vehicles going at Mark fuck, and nothing has happened other than just coming to a sudden stop. I think this is a right on red state, although I'm kind of blocked right now. Yeah, she didn't exactly learn a lesson. I did get a mod that I was hoping to have in the truck with me, but there's no slots in this custom truck to put it down. It was the Maxwell model, the cat. I would have been very pleased if I could, but unfortunately no. I saw a green light, I think that was a turn light. Most flips in this game because of physics bugs. Yeah. I've yet to see a flip, but the big thing is, you tap a car, you just come to a complete stop because of the way that the physics interacts with everything. And because of that, it destroys your truck. I mean, played this a while ago. I don't remember when it was. It was with a bunch of other VTubers, so it was a big collab thing. I think I've got enough steering lock, yeah. I remember it being a pretty good VOD. I want to eventually get a steering wheel to play this, as well as other games, because I do a fair bit of racing. I'm on controller at the moment, so it's not the easiest thing. I mean, I think I do a pretty good job of driving with a controller. Like, I've had people ask me if I'm on a steering wheel, because it's apparently fairly smooth. Yeah, fancy steering wheel setups with gears and pedals. Yeah, definitely. A little bit of reverse. There we go. Just using a Xbox One controller. It's some form of Xbox controller. I don't really know much about consoles nowadays. I used to use a PlayStation 3 controller, but you had to use a really weird program to get it to connect. And that eventually just died, so I had to swap to an actual Microsoft product. I've got all of my settings in this in metric, so if you guys want to know how far like the distances are and whatnot for where I'm traveling, you're going to do the conversion yourselves. The D-pad kind of looks like a circle, and it's like indented in the middle. A kilometre is what the rest of the world uses, except for the United Kingdom and Canada sometimes. Canada is a weird mix of measuring systems from what I've seen. Yes, I'm going 344 kilometers. That's, what, 280 miles? $213. I cannot wait to get out of the city, or this strip mall, whatever you call these things. There's not any crosswalks around here. How do you get around these places? And traffic is backed up across the intersection. Brilliant. You run across the road before you get to the intersection. Pretty much everywhere around Australia, if there's a set of traffic lights, there's the ability to walk across them. So I have the little button to press to make the crosswalk light go green. So as long as you can find a set of lights, you can cross. So imagine with crosswalks being so rare, how many people actually, like, honor them? I'm very tempted to just go around. Just go into the median turning lane and try and get past. What time is it? 2:46. I think this is the school run at the moment. Traffic should be moving. What's going on? I think traffic is actually completely jammed right now. That red light has been red for a while. 6.6 million kilometers of paved road. I'm probably going to get in trouble for this, but I just need to get moving. Oh no, it just went green. I might be able to move in a sec. They're not moving. The light's green, they're not moving. Something's bugged. Someone up there is broken. I will happily run through a red light just to get the stream moving. I'll take the fine. I don't care. And I didn't even get fined. Oh, there it is. There's been a crash. I can sneak through. It's only breaking the law if the police see you. I wouldn't worry about it. I could have legit been sat there for the entire stream if I needed to obey the law. Yeah, there is a hello, very distinct increase in the amount of people who just don't know how to drive. 9 more hours of Zatsu. I have now, in my life, seen at least 2 times where someone has put their blinker on and turned in the opposite direction to it. I think they were both BMW drivers as well, so it's kind of to be expected. That's just how they are. This is a drinking knife me while I drive. I have an enormous pint of Guinness sat right in front of me right now. I just need to turn my cruise control on so I can drink it. Ooh, that's good stuff. If I wanted to be a real trucker, I'd be knocking back cans of Pabst Blue Ribbon. Never liked beer. Yeah, that's fair. It's definitely an acquired taste. And the stuff that you'd probably like, which would be, I don't know, maybe some of the fruitier things like the craft beers, they do run a little bit expensive if it's your standard drink. I didn't like lagers when I first started drinking. Because yeah, they were quite bitter compared to everything else I'd usually drink, which was like soft drinks and juice and water. But then my dad gave me a craft beer, and it was nice and fruity and easy to drink. And so that got me into that. Also, isn't it early morning for you guys? Are you day drinking already? Any hours happy hour, true. Can't drink anymore for health reasons, I assume? That is unfortunate, I'm sorry to hear that. I don't even drink to get drunk, I just like the taste of what I drink. So if you liked the stuff that you were drinking, it's very unfortunate. I gotta get over for him. What are you drinking, Numby? Honey whiskey sounds nice, but every time I've tried any sort of spirits, it just tastes like the alcohol in it. I cannot tell the flavors apart. So I don't really drink spirits. Texas Brew Gold Revolver. Blood and Honey Ale. That sounds good. I think I was put entirely off of spirits because of one simple incident. It was at one of my older sister's birthday parties. I was sat out on the back deck with her friends, and we're all drinking and talking. And I had a bottle of mead. I had a full bottle in the house, and I had a half bottle sat with me that I was like sipping from a shot glass. And because it's really easy to drink, you just don't notice how much you're going through. And so then I finished that, I went and got the other bottle, and I was sat down getting through that, and I felt perfectly fine, but then the moment I stood up to go to the toilet or whatever, all of the alcohol just hit at once. Like, you don't notice how drunk you are until you actually stand up and try moving, and then it really hits you. And I got so fucking sick from it, because I went through... fucking vehicle inspection. I went through almost a bottle and a half of mead, and then a couple shots of vodka, and that fucked me up. And I've not been that drunk since. Mead's pretty nice. It's definitely sweet. If you get the spice stuff, it tastes pretty good. I don't think anyone's has a good story of anything like vodka or tequila. I do love the fact that there's different kinds of drunk depending on what you're drinking, even though it is just all alcohol. Like vodka drunk and tequila drunk are special kinds of crazy. Is this guy gonna let me over? No, he's not. Cheers, mate. You love tequila? Have you had the eaten the worm? Drank a scorpion. Well, you ever meet up with the Itomos, me, just have the tiniest little sip of a drink, and then you can say you've been drinking with the Itomos, and then you've got your little story there. Don't even have to get drunk. So this is just a short little job to begin with. I want to pick up something a bit longer. But there's meant to be all of these underground silos that you can drive into to pick up and drop off jobs. I want to try and get into one of those, but it's a matter of actually getting a job that goes to one. Yeah, drunk moments doesn't even have to include yourself, it can just be other people have done it. I was gonna suggest a drinking game, but it doesn't sound right in this day and age with what a particular word has been turned into. I wonder if you guys can guess what that is. No, not that one. It's called Goon of Fortune, and it's so unfortunate that you can't say it anymore because of what the word means now. In Australia, I'm assuming in other places in the world too, you know, like very cheap box wine that you get a litre of it for $4 or $5. and it tastes like shit. It's not good wine, but it gets you drunk. Inside the box is like a aluminium foil bag, and we call it the goon bag. I am not taking that detour. I'm sorry, but that's just not happening. Yeah, so there's the aluminium foil bag inside, which we call the goon bag. And what you do is you get the goon bag, you, with a peg it to a clothesline, and then you just spin the clothesline, and it's like spin the bottle, except for whoever the bag lands on, they have to drink out of it. And you just keep going round and round. General rules are last man standing. Take that how you will. You think you could do some damage? It's what, you can hold your alcohol, can you? This is the worst place stop sign they've ever made, because you cannot see out the left side to see if there's cars coming. I used to be able to hold alcohol a lot better, but I just don't drink as much nowadays, so I think I've kind of lost it a little bit. You're an almost middle-aged hag. Let me guess, you're like 25 and you're calling yourself a hag? Which lane do they want me in? Not that lane. You've always struck me as being someone very young. I have a very long truck right now. You do, not me. Not like very, very, but like... I don't know, 23, 24. That's what I was imagining. I need to turn the fucking Jake brake off, Jesus. I would have thought you were very early 20s, Dolphin. So there's the potential actually, I probably am younger than you then. There we go. Easy delivery. I need a job that does not go that far. I'm not going to fucking Los Angeles. Something that goes through. That won't be bad. How far is that? Almost 700 Ks. I'm under the assumption that this game does model. Ooh, what's wrong with my truck? I think my truck's it's 27 tons. It's not that heavy. I've already done a big cross America drive, or at least as far as you can go with the current DLCs, and that took so long. There's no way I can do it in a single stream. I take a school bus to Chadron, Nebraska. That might not be bad. Let's do that. Do your best not to scream out if I drive through your city and or state. Do not dox yourselves. Yes, I did drive up to Alaska. That took 4 or 5 hours. I could have driven to Sydney and back in that time. It was a fun drive, though. This game is always fun where you can drive and chat with people. Okay, no, that's fine. If you're in any state east of Missouri, then it's probably not in here. I can just open up the map. Yeah, so that's everything west of here except for these states up here. I don't know which ones those are in the game. Except for Alaska. Alaska's not. Do I get to go into one of those? I really hope I do. Don't know what those are. I want to go into one of these underground things, but I don't know where they are. That might be one. There's some pretty good mods for Euro Truck Sim. I need to get over. That adds... I think you can get all the way from... Where can you get from? All the way from, like, China to Spain. Because Euro Truck Sim's been out a lot longer than this, and the modding community have just gone crazy with it. There is a mod for this where they have done the rest of the United States, so you can do a cannonball run if you wanted to. But I don't think they're as detailed as the official states. Which, even in saying that, a lot of the official states, they feel... Some of them are a bit more bare bones compared to others. You see a lot of complaints in the reviews like, you know, I live in this state and they've missed out on so many of the major landmarks or cities. Or stuff that they just shouldn't have missed. It's alright, I use my blinker there, I can cross as many lanes as I want. The moment this game has all of the states, or at least has a straight run from east to west, I think my mate and I, we're going to try and do a cannonball run. And that's basically, you just get any vehicle whatsoever, and you just have to get from east to west as fast as you possibly can, including breaking the law. I don't know if people still do it, but it was a fairly, I wouldn't say popular, but not uncommon thing for people to do. I believe there are even official competitions for doing it, and you'd have people running ahead in cars to like try and scout for the police to make sure that the guy who's going absolutely flat out in his Charger or whatever can make it through an area without getting pulled over. is nothing cool. I don't know, I've seen some pretty nice looking hiking places in America. We drove from Virginia to Washington. Washington in the northwest of the country, or Washington DC or Washington State, I think is the proper question. I need to get my lights on, I'm going to get pinged by the police. Ah, residence, that's not much, okay. Oh, to Seattle, okay. And how long did that take you? Because that would have been a hell of a drive. What is that thing? Mobile barrier. Are those the kind of states where it's just an absolute straight drive for hours and hours and hours? Where is... The problem with having a sleeper on this is I can't stick my head out the window anymore and see where I'm reversing. Yeah, I'm the kind of person who prefers to drive during a road trip, because I just like the act of driving, but I'd probably be bored shitless with having to experience blank nothingness for hours on end. Yeah, I'll plow into the school bus, turn into the short bus. Oh, there's a mobile road barrier. Oh, sorry, mate. You could have stopped a lot earlier than that, in my defense. I've got to take a wide swing on this. So it's 8 PM. Stop signs are just a stop suggestion right now. Right, pull and get some fuel before we go on. That should be good. Yeah, that lined it up. Good stuff. Everything most stays up north, everything on the south side is just straight roads and fields. Yeah, that sounds garbage. Pull that over a little bit. All good. Unless you head out to things like the Nullarbor in Australia, a lot of our highways are pretty windy, especially in my state. We've got a lot of hills and valleys that go along the coast. So it's not till you get, I think it's past Canberra. Like if you do want to drive from, I don't know, Brisbane to Melbourne, the roads are fairly interesting until you get just past Canberra, and then it all just kind of turns to shit, and it stops being a fun drive. But it's nice going north from my city, because if you get bored, at any point in time, you can just find a road that hooks off, or you can take one of the scenic drives, or go onto the old Pacific Highway, and then you got all these beautiful roads that weave and wind around the mountaintops, so you can have a good bit of fun driving through them, just to break up the monotony. Especially with the new car as well, makes it much nicer. Whenever I go up to TAFE each month, I'd head through a place called Wooton, and the roads there are fantastic. Very little potholes now because no one really takes it. Nice high speeds, very windy, the roads are cambered just right, up and down through the mountains. Don't think I'll come to Australia. That's fair. Ooh, okay. Can't park there, sir. Every time I kind of see people complain about the animals here and the spiders and stuff, I don't think it's too bad until I stop and actually think about the stuff that we have. It was only within the last year that we found the new largest spider in the world, and of course it's in Australia. Not just the largest spider in the world, the most deadly spider. Because there is a creature known as the Sydney funnel web, which is about the size of your palm, your outstretched palm. And its bite, I think, can kill 3 or 4 humans. And then we recently found a new one called the Newcastle Big Boy, which is twice the size, which means it has fangs that are twice the size as well, that can punch straight through the leather of work boots. And can kill just as many people. So that's fun. I'm glad I've never seen one. The only spiders I ever really see are like the small little daddy longlegs, and then the occasional huntsman, which admittedly I don't like seeing those as much as I want one to take up residence inside my house. I'd overtake if I didn't have to merge off soon. Because, you know, it's kind of unavoidable that you sometimes get bugs in your house, but if you get a huntsman in your house, they primarily hunt other small creatures, like actively. And they don't really go anywhere near humans because they just recognize that we're bigger and scarier than they are. So if you get one in your house, they run pest control, and they do it very effectively. Yeah, I did see the new stick bug. You guys should Google the huntsman spider and see just how big they get. They are fucking enormous. Please don't crash into me, thank you. This is kind of cool. The capital city. Got a lot of gears to filter back through. I think I have this memory from my childhood. I don't remember if it was a dream or not, but I'm kind of reevaluating it. And I found an enormous spider inside my garage, but it was like the size of a basketball. And I'm wondering if I saw a full-sized enormous huntsman and my scared tiny little child brain extrapolated to be even larger than it should have been. And then that just, in my memory, became so ridiculously big that it had to be a dream and not a real thing. They are scary things, especially when you're a kid. You don't understand how fast a huntsman can move. They are quick. Kind of blink and you miss it quick. Which, if you're arachnophobic, is not a fun situation. You need to Google this. Are camel spiders actual spiders? Or are they like spellipedes, I think they're called. They're not nice creatures. I don't like camel spiders. I've seen tons of pictures of them from like Marines and Army in Iraq and Afghanistan, picking them up. Looks like a mutated spider. It does. I'm surprised none of the bloody boot-fuck Marines shoot them in their tents whenever they spot them, rather than kicking them out. Why do they chase you? What does it achieve by doing that? Attacking a thing it can't possibly hurt. They're not scared of anything. That is a terrifying prospect. I did not notice that we had a merging lane coming up. I could have gotten bugged about that truck then. You can speed up. Come on. Why are you braking on a hill? Please don't. We're slowing down even more. The drink is not getting to me. I'm perfectly fine. I need to slow down. Oh shit. Just give their bumper a little smooch. That's where we have to go back to the earlier conversation of the physics in this game. If I even tap his bumper, it won't send him forward, he'll just stop, and my truck will get sent into low orbit. I'll be able to go and commune with Sputnik. Alright, yeah, red light, let's drink. Provided you're doing it responsibly, of course. future people who watch this VOD, make sure that you're of the correct legal limit to be drinking and have no outstanding health issues or addiction problems. Yes, it's not real driving, it's fine. The only thing that gets hurt if I crash is my credibility as a good driver in this game. If it's this early in the morning, you should be having like an Irish whiskey, not an ale. An Irish coffee, I mean. We need a drinking game. I'm not good at thinking up the rules for that, so you guys will have to do that. I guess it could be speeding tickets and red light tickets. It's starting to rain. That's not good, that's gonna destroy my cornering. I'd hope this has now become a cozy thing to watch in the early morning, just driving a truck through the rain in the middle of the night. You normally have Colombian coffee. Nice. I do like my coffee, but I don't get beans or anything, I get the little coffee pods. I don't know how legit they are when they list where the coffees are meant to be from. So I think I've probably had Colombian coffee at some point, but it depends whether or not Nespresso is lying about where their coffee comes from. Their Indian branded ones are pretty good. A little book of sugar in it. Colombian marching powder. I do not know what silly is. I am quite happy to say that even though I do drink, I have managed to be more or less a teetotaler with everything else throughout my whole life. Despite being offered several times. There's the rain kicking in, massive understeer. Yeah, I've just never seen... like, I don't understand the draw of doing drugs. Or even for that matter, getting drunk. Because if you go out to have a good time with your mates, and, you know, have a good experience out on the town, or at a friend's place or whatever, if you get drunk, you don't remember any of it, and all of what you did that night is just disappears into a blur. I drink every set of green signs we pass under. You fucking nuts. Right, there was a green sign. Nope, there's a green sign. Oh, there's a green sign. I am speeding right now, but I haven't got a ticket yet. It's only illegal if you get spotted. Does it stop raining? Do I have my grip back? I think I do. I would love VR for this. This would be great. Same with Assetto Corsa, the other car game that I play. There's VR for this. I think there's VR for Assetto Corsa. Actually, no, I know there is because I've seen people using it. I know Amy's got VR. She said she might let me have a go at it someday. Although it's just difficult to get down there and have things planned. This game does go on sale, I wouldn't say very, very often. You can catch it for extremely cheap. Whenever a sale pops up and I'm missing DLC, I'll pick them up for like $5 or $6. Am I going straight here or am I merging off? I'm forced to go straight. Where does that go to? Kansas. Okay, that's why I can't turn that way. I don't know Kansas. Tried playing visual mods in this game at all. I haven't. I'd kind of like to. I don't know how effective they are. I've got a very limited one. The rain that just hit, I've got a mod that makes the rain look a bit better. It usually looks a lot worse in this. Imagine modded sun up and sundown. Yeah, that would look great. Yeah, save your money up for better things. Just get you one game to get you through the whole year. Just get Baldur's Gate. That'll keep you busy. We're on cruise control. Well, there you go. Started a Baldur's Gate playthrough. Rope the Artomos into it. You need drinking cues before your ale gets warm. You don't want to drink warm ale. If you're an Englishman, it'd be a normal thing to drink warm ale because you go to the bar, you get 3 pints to yourself, and you sit them down and just get through them over the next hour. Inevitably, one of them goes warm by the time you get to it. Maybe purchasing a Sonic Racing. I'd assume some of the other Automos would get it as well, so that would be a pretty good investment. Look at this dickhead in his fucking Charger. Or his Mustang. I do not like the modern Mustangs and Chargers. I don't think they look nice. Then again, I prefer 90s and early 2000s Jap cars. I'd run him off the road, but frankly, he'll do it himself. He'll put his foot down at a green light and he'll just spin into a median strip. The only people who get those cars are people with no taste and Marines who just got their signing bonus. Probably with 60% APR on the thing, because they're fucking stupid. I'm seeing a lot of people nowadays who do not understand how a loan works and how you're meant to pay it off. Alright, the trailer's good. You have the chance to buy an 80s Corvette. Will you let me come along and drive the thing? Do I need fuel? No, I'm good with fuel. They can't be the hardest things to maintain. I've seen under the hood of some of the older cars, because next to work, we have I won't say the name of the place, because otherwise you guys will find where I work, but they do car dyno tuning and like custom engine builds. And they get a lot of older cars in there, like old Monaros, old Chargers, and Corvettes and stuff, and you open up the hoods of them, there's nothing in there. It's 80% air compared to like the engine, the electrics, the fuel system and air cleaner and stuff. They get some crazy stuff next door, it's fucking awesome. Pop your head in occasionally to see what they're playing with, and it's always a treat. My real-world driving has kind of kicked in right now. I've not paid attention to the road for the past probably hour. Don't know what you're doing to keep it maintained yet. Do you have a mechanic that you trust? So if you know how to do it yourself, if you have a trustworthy mechanic that you've been going to for a bit and you kind of know the guy, you can probably take care of you a bit, just keeping the thing maintained. As long as you... because it's probably going to be carbureted. So as long as you give it a couple minutes to warm up before you drive it, you make sure the spark plugs are good when you buy it, so they're not fouled, make sure the fueling system's good. It should just run well out the gate. Just keep it serviced. Run it like it wants to be run, because it is a sports car. You drive them like a sports car. That is something I hate seeing, where there's a few people going around my city. They have very nice cars. Like, there's some Porsches going around, there's a couple Ferraris, usually like BMW Z4s and whatnot. They get these beautiful exotic sports cars, and then they drive them around like it's an old Toyota Camry. They're just too afraid to do anything with them. And cars and bikes want to be driven properly, and that means getting them up to temperature. Just have a shitty Kia. If it doesn't break down and if it does what you need it to, then that is perfectly fine. I drove a Ford Focus for 10 years. Oh, he's flashing me because I'm my bloody highs on. Can't give him one. I drove a Ford Focus for 10 years, and I could throw the thing around faster than most other people would drive. Would it be worth to just drive it up there every year to get it checked up? You should be getting yearly services for your car. Any car, really. Either 1 year or however many miles it says in your user manual. Always stick to it, never skip your services. I've worked on plenty of bikes that have missed services. The oil is just filled with metal shavings and it turns like gluggy and viscous. It just doesn't do what it's meant to do. You have 2024 GT. Nice. I need a picture of that if you got one, if you don't mind sharing. I want to see if it's the ones I'm thinking of. Is it the one that kind of looks like a Mustang sort of thing? Oh, Ford. I thought you just misspelled Ford. Fort Kia. Or is it meant to be pronounced Forte, like people... Or GT Spenny, yeah, they... Depends on the year you get. Like, surprisingly, some sports cars can be kind of cheap. If you know what you're looking for. Like, if you want to buy an old sports car, like old Jap cars, depending on what you look at, or just any sports car in general, if it's a very popular one, they will be expensive, but if it's a little bit lesser known and not as desirable, you could probably get one in alright condition for an alright price. Oh, it's got the fucking turbo, bros. I kind of want to get a turbo for mine, but my dad's been saying to me that I probably shouldn't mod my car because it is kind of alright as it is. I, however, this morning got onto a very bad website that had a exhaust pipe that sounds very nice. It's not overly loud. It's kind of a mature and reasonable sounding exhaust. Just brings the note of the engine out a bit more. Like running on highways, that's the way to do it. Maybe we should have his 5 million in working condition. You gotta set your expectations a little more reasonably. Yeah, definitely. Yeah, the pipe that I was looking at, it's not loud, it just brings the exhaust note out and up a little bit more. It's got a nice deep rumble to it. And so when you're sat there, idling at a light or in your driveway, it's a little louder than stock, but it's not too bad. But it's when you get on the power that you really hear it. But it's still not overbearing. There was an apprentice across the road from us that... I forgot which car it was that you can get, but it's... I think it's a V8 Commodore. It's the largest engine car you can get on your Ps, your provisional license, which is what you get after your learners. And it's before your full license. He put the worst sounding exhaust system I've ever fucking heard on it. Even his co-worker that I was talking to, he also agreed that the exhaust sounded fucking awful. Bike cars are comfy to drive, yeah, definitely. It was crackly when he'd get off the throttle, and when it was under power, the thing would resonate. So, you know the sound that people make when they're... You ever seen someone get a can of drink? Like a soft can drink or a pop drink, whatever you call it, and you like put your mouth to it and like hum, and it makes the can vibrate. It sounded like that as it was driving away, but much, much louder. You could feel it in your feet, and it'd be 100 meters away, driving. Oh, there's traffic up ahead. '78 Camaro, that'd be nice. Oh, fantastic. It's like driving in fucking Sydney right now. We'll do 105 when everyone's doing 70. Cheers, mates. Come on. I don't have the power to overtake right now, especially not on this blind corner. I'm going for it. Just need you to slow down a little bit there, mate. Thank you. Good stuff. So you want to... Oh, I would never go up my daily driver with heated and cool. Yeah. I don't mind the older cars. I like mine. I've got my Toyota 86 now, which I've posted in the chat. I feel like I've gone ahead from... It feels like jumping from a horse-drawn carriage to like a modern car. Jesus fucking Christ, you braked so hard there. I've gone from having, like, the best thing in my old car being cruise control to having heated seats and CarPlay and, like, full central locking where I don't even need to press the key buttons to unlock and lock the car. Cars don't have good sound installation drive me nuts. Yes, agreed. Decent AC is important. Especially in Australia. And I assume especially in places like Texas. The heated seats have been lovely in winter right now. I've been loving them. My throat's getting very parched. I haven't had a drink for a bit. Winters don't exist in your state. I need to turn my high beams off. Drink, Prost. I should have got a bag of crisps to eat. I'm a little surprised to hear it gets that cold in Texas, because that's one of those places where I would have thought it'd just be hot all year round. Or am I more thinking of Florida? I need petrol. I need to pull into the place up ahead. Still got half the journey to do. $35 during Christmas? Fuck that. Where do I even pull in here? Oh, there's a median up ahead. You guys are meant to be in winter when it's Christmas time. How the hell? Oh, there's a lot of stuff coming. I gotta keep speed up a little. I could have come over a little bit more there. It doesn't get amazingly cold here in Australia unless you go to a few particular places. We do get snow here and there. It was last year I went to a place where it was 0 degrees when I got there. Then again, I got there at 7:30 in the morning, and it's wedged pretty deep between some valleys. Alright, I'm taking a different entrance. Yeah, there's Mount Perisher, there's the Threadbow Mountains, you get snow up there. You do have to... There's a bit of a gamble as to whether or not you get a good season. Ooh, look at that. That's nice. Alright, I've just been fucked over. Okay. The map says I can get through here, but apparently not. And those pumps. Probably not diesel. -8. Yeah, I'm gonna scream at the devs. Pulling out, good luck everyone else. Drink because Sammy's got pranked. Can't turn when I'm drinking, Jesus. I'm doing nothing out of the ordinary. I think I've seen Jay Schlatt doing streams like this where he's drinking while driving. What's the price? 87 cents per litre for diesel. Says I need to up my drinking driving game, true. Ahoy. We're drinking and driving. What is a Buc-ee's? Is that how it's pronounced? Well, it's not a Bussies, is it? Super large gas station. Buc-ee's, okay. And what's so special about a super large petrol station? What are you drawing for the campaign, Magpie? I've been upgraded to second monitor content. We do have some large servos like that. There's one near Tari, it's pretty decently big. It's got a KFC, it's got a little, like, Grocers, it's got a McDonald's. I wouldn't mind doing a trip to the US one day. I think that'd be a bit of fun. But I feel like I'm a little bit weird in the way that I like to explore a country in which I don't care about going to a big city and just walking around and seeing the sights there. I'd rather buy a car or like rent a little car and just go drive around and see the countryside, see small towns, see like far off landmarks, road trip around. How are bathrooms famous? Small towns suck. I like the idea of pulling into a small little diner, like you see in the movies where you got some lady in a polka dot dress calling you darling and serving you more food than any human can ever consume in a yearly basis. Meter-high stacked pancakes. Fucking hell. Why are we stopping? When Americans say the South, do you guys mean the ones who were part of the South in the Civil War, right? It's not geographical South. I think I learned that semi-recently, because I always thought it was just geographic South. South is Texas and whatever's easy. Oh, well, it was east, okay. Oh, thank God. I don't have to go to the way station. Stop braking. Stop brake. I'm getting brake checked. All different people once you cross the border. Is that when you get your famous Southern hospitality? Good time for a bumper kiss. No, thank you. I'd say people are pretty generally nice in Australia. Fuck me. You didn't even have your goddamn blinker on, you stupid dickhead. Don't mind the irony of me saying that Australians are generally nice a minute ago. You're desperately coming up with drinking games. You know you can keep your other beers in the fridge, right? Yeah, but you live in the city, Macboy. City dwellers are usually rude. You don't need an excuse to drink the ale, just drink it. I mean, everywhere can be terrible to a degree. Alright, so avoid West Texas. Ah, we get plenty of bogans coming into work, especially the Harley riders. I hate dealing with them. Which, to be frank, I hate dealing with customers in general. I prefer just to be locked away in the workshop, just doing my own thing, and not have to worry about talking to people. The less interaction with customers I have, the better. And what kind of coke are we talking about there? Don't mind me just waking up the whole town. Run the Jake break through the whole place. Oh, Coca-Cola, okay. There was a field trip that I went on back in primary school, I believe it was, so this is a long while ago. Like 20 years ago. Fucking hell. And we went to... I don't know why we went to it, I don't know what sort of interest we would have had, but it was a power plant, I think it was a gas power station, and we got a small little tour through it. I don't remember a single word that the tour guide said. All I remember was that one of the massive smokestacks, these things are 150 meters tall. They're fucking huge. He said that he let one of our students climb up to the top of it. No safety equipment or anything, just climbed freehand up to the top of this thing. And then came back down. Yeah, it was free or subsidized by a plant, yeah. But he said to us that there was another trip that had come through earlier. Not that day, but like earlier in the year, and he asked if anyone wanted to climb up to the top, and some girl said that she would, and she went right up to the top, just climbed her freehand, just sprinted up the ladder, up 150 meters or so, and then worked out that she couldn't see over the edge of the railings up there, because it was like a hard concrete circle that went all the way around it. And so she climbed all the way back down, grabbed a box, climbed back up, one-handed, so that she could see over the top of it. There's a plane over there. What is that? Been to a cheese factory in Wisconsin. Was it like government cheese? Okay, government cheese. So this is a thing that stemmed from Prohibition. because Prohibition prevented people from drinking alcohol, there needed to be something to fill in the social gap that had left, and what that became were ice cream parlors. And so you just have a lot of bars or whatever, or shut down or converted into ice cream parlors, and that became that sort of social gathering for, you go there after work or during the day, and you'd have your kids or just with your co-workers, whatever, you go get ice cream and you would eat that. And so, ice cream production went up quite a bit. And then during World War II, there would be massive ice cream ships, because to give US troops some comfort, you'd have ships which were entirely dedicated to producing ice cream that would follow around their fleets, so they could feed the sailors and the troops ice cream. But then at the end of the war and the end of Prohibition, now people aren't eating ice cream as much, but the dairy farmers who had, for the first time in American history, or just history in general, had been able to convert entirely to being dairy farmers. They've got all of this milk being produced that is now going absolutely nowhere, and the government had one of two choices. They could have just done nothing and have let the entire dairy industry collapse overnight, because no one is, eating as much ice cream anymore. So all of the milk would have spoiled. The farmers who were pure dairy farmers probably would have gone under. So instead, what the government was doing was they were paying the farmers to buy their milk from them, and then they decided they were going to turn that milk into cheese. But then, because now, as what every time happens with a guaranteed government subsidy, the dairy farmers went, well, if we're getting paid to produce this milk for the government, we're going to produce even more fucking milk. So the government has all this milk sitting around doing nothing, that they're desperately trying to keep the milk industry floating. And so they're thinking, what the fuck do we do this? Alright, we'll just turn it into fucking cheese. And so now they've got tons and tons and tons of cheese just sitting there, and they don't know what to do with it. So they're right, we'll stick it into mountains and create these enormous refrigerated bunkers to store all this cheese. And now there's 600,000 pounds of fucking cheese sitting underground. I think it was Reagan came along and saw what was going on, looking at the bill, wondering why they're spending millions of dollars refrigerating all of this cheese. So now they're desperately trying to work out what to do with it. So they try putting it into old folks' home to get them to eat the cheese, and then, they can't really make a dent in it. They went to the fucking American people and had this big press conference on, asking what they thought of their idea, saying, we've got 600,000 pounds of cheese, can we just dump it all into the ocean and work out whether or not crabs are lactose intolerant? They couldn't do that. Everyone thought they were fucking crazy. Yeah, I'm talking about, this is all the US. And then, thankfully, something came along, and in the early or late 90s, and it was the Got Milk ad campaign. And now, instead of turning all of this milk that they're getting from the dairy farmers that they're subsidizing and turning it into cheese, they're just cartoning it and putting it into primary schools and high schools for kids to drink, because there was this big push on making sure that kids had plenty of calcium intake, and that kind of saved the situation. But there is still enormous bunkers filled with cheese that people don't know what to do with. And that's where the term government cheese comes from, because the government was trying to push all of this cheese into just various places around America, like old folks' homes and schools, trying to get kids and, well, just anyone to eat the fucking cheese to get rid of the stuff. And it is absolutely wild that that is a direct symptom, or a direct consequence of prohibition. And I absolutely adore that story. I love it so much because it's wildly crazy and just goes to show how fucking incompetent the government can be. I want to find the press conference where they were asking people, can we throw all this cheese into the ocean? And presumably be met with a sea of very confused reporters. What is ranch water? Is that like the separated moisture from ranch dressing that you're drinking? You know, where you get a bottle of tomato sauce, a bottle of ketchup, and you get the fucking, like, clear water that comes out the top of it before you actually get the sauce? Agave and lime hard seltzer, okay. It really does, doesn't it? What, have you never got a cup of hot dog water before, Magma? Just have a little sippy on it. Jesus Christ, Lyco's screaming when I'm trying to blow my nose. This is one of the problems of the game where during midday and low sunlight you just cannot see the road anymore because of how bright and reflective it gets. Almost say another 14 kilometers. There is a bit of road about 30 minutes away from me where there's this big construction happening. It used to be a little bit of road that would just go straight ahead, and if you got there during the wrong time during summer, like in the morning, if you're going to work or whatever, the sun would be coming up directly in line with the road, so you'd be completely blinded driving down this road. Now that they're doing this big upgrade there, the road veers off to the right at some point, and then it's just concrete barriers in front of it. So I'm entirely convinced that there are going to be some stories coming up where people have been driving down this road with the sun coming up completely blinded and just plowing into concrete barriers because they can't physically see them. There's some roads that are just outright dangerous. There's a T-intersection near me that you cannot see one of the oncoming lanes. If you're sat at the T-intersection trying to do the right turn, there's a turn lane coming towards you and then the lane going straight ahead. If there's cars turning, you cannot see past them. to see if there's a car going straight on. Which means if you just see a car turning and you think, you know, I'll just pull out. Because he's turning, he's not going straight, you don't need to worry about him. But no, there's a car hidden behind him. There's pretty much always glass on the road there from people who've been smashed up. I really think there needs to be harsher laws regarding stuff like that. Drunk driving or beating on your phone, I think people should just be outright losing their licenses for significant periods of time for doing shit like that. So I go to Ogden, Utah. That is very little money for a decent long distance. Where's somewhere closer? It's Oklahoma. That might be an alright little road. That looks a bit funky on the map. I kind of want to see that. Did you guys kill the tourism of the city, or is it just... You know, like, the people who would be gambling there now would be millennials and Gen Z, because, you know, all the boomers are dying off. And we just don't have the money to go waste it gambling. We don't go to casinos to waste our money gambling, we waste it on gacha games to get cute anime girls. It's not dying fast enough. Yeah, I think things like road rage, being on your phone, should just be an instant disqualification. And you lose your license for like 5 years for road rage. There's no fucking excuse in the slightest to be doing shit like that. And with how dangerous driving already is, something that people take for granted, they should be less lenient with it. There's tons of videos of people just... the slightest altercation, like something that doesn't matter in the fucking slightest, and they just pull out in front of someone and brake check them or try and drive them off the road. Just, nah, license gone, done, goodbye. Bonus immediate 1k fine. Yeah. That's how fights and gunfights happen. Probably if you're in like Chicago and such, right? It's not a huge paying job and it's a decent distance for it, but doesn't matter. I'm kind of happy with cash right now. The travel advisors against the US seem just a little odd to me. It's like, yeah, stuff's not great in America, but I don't think it's that bad. It's not on the level of Iraq or something like that. What level sort of advisories is it? Is it just... It wouldn't be on the level of, you know, don't travel here at all, would it? So you watch and act, kind of. God, my throat's getting dry. Yeah, I think the tariffs are to blame for that. Oh, that's fine. Missed it. I finished my beer. I need another one. Miss Turnie's drink. How many beers down are you now, Nombi? Okay, well I'm ready to go grab my second, although my second is another half-liter can. I don't know what that is in, what would you guys do, ounces? Every tree? Yeah, no thanks. You do pints here. What's a pint for? 75ml? What is Edward 40 hands? Explain. I'm doing 20 over the limit. .73. I was close. Yeah, these are half-liter cans of Guinness. They are very carby. It's like eating a loaf of, like drinking a loaf of bread. Should I fill up? Probably should. I'll just need to go get another drink. Where's the turn? There. I'm not going to be able to turn around properly. Always been a mixed drinker. .18 beer in hand. I've been very tempted to go out and get a bottle of vodka so I can make Moscow mules. That's probably one of the few sort of mixer things I really enjoy. It's just vodka and ginger beer, and I like ginger beer. I'm just gonna park up along here. The good thing with mixing drinks is you can just mix it however you want it to be. So if you want more ginger beer, so you taste less of the vodka, you can just do that. How do I put my windows down? Apparently I need the engine on to operate the twist handle windows. Yeah, I've already told the story of how I got absolutely fucking hammered on mead, and that completely turned me off of any sort of spirits or anything other than like beer and wine. I'm gonna grab another beer. I'll be back in a second. One moment. Alright, you filled one tank, empty another, ready to go. You have again destroyed and slurping vodka shots out of a dirty carpet. Jesus. I need a bigger engine in this. Could have been worse. Could have been Parmesan. Doing a left over a highway, fuck that. It's definitely the good thing to do, so good on you for doing that. I don't think anyone was actually home when I was hungover that night. I just went straight to bed and then woke up fucking destroyed the next morning and had to wait till I actually felt good enough to go out to try and get some sports drinks. I just missed the fucking turn because I was looking at chat. This is a petrol station here. It's fine, it's fine. No time lost. It'll only take a second. Easy days. Time for a drink. What is a hangover clinic? I know I can probably understand what it is from the name of it, but why does that exist? Is it that bad that you need a dedicated hangover one? IV drips? Okay. Gets the alcohol out of your blood way faster. Does it get the alcohol out of your blood, or does it just keep you hydrated? Because that's the big thing that fucks you up in the next morning, is being dehydrated. You can... I wouldn't say it's a guaranteed way to avoid a hangover, but you can definitely drastically reduce the effects of a hangover if you have a big glass of water before you go to bed. That wraps up. Dilutes and hydrates. Yeah, okay. That is some Hunger Games shit. Getting an IV so that you can drink more. Drinking Hippocrack so you can vomit and eat more food when you're out partying. Insane levels of gluttony. Yeah, whenever I go out drinking with mates, I always like to try to get a coffee at the end. Probably wasn't the best thing, because coffee kind of dehydrates you a little bit as well, but it definitely wakes you up. Gets you a bit more aware. I'm so lucky there haven't been any police officers. I mean, speeding in so many places. Yeah, that's true, Magpie. Please don't pull out. Please don't pull out. Was that a Tesla? I just don't go to clubs or bars in general. I go to some pubs occasionally with a mate, but that's about it. I do not vibe with those places very well. I've been described by a friend as the most awkward-looking, comfortable person at a place he's ever seen. Wish it was Fire Jesus, by the way, Mako. I'm comfortable as long as I'm sat with friends, but the moment I have to get up and, like, go somewhere else to get a drink or find a toilet, I just fucking go, like, full uh, what's the word? I turn into like a little afraid chihuahua. There was a place I went to once with a mate. I don't think it exists anymore because it's probably shut down during COVID. But it was in... There was this little plaza shopping centre, and right in the backhand corner of it, just under this walkway and, I don't know, out of the way, out of sight, there was this little bar there. And you go inside and it's all wing-back furniture and like big leather couches, the kind that you sit on them and you sink into these lounges. You know, like, they don't feel very well made, but they're incredibly comfortable, and they just served very nice wine, very nice beer. There was a big fireplace in there, dim lighting, low-hanging ceiling, and it was so comfortable. I only ever got to go there once, but it was fantastic. I wish I could have gone more. It's a kind of a vibe for... I don't know if you call it a dive bar, maybe? It's the kind of vibe for a bar that I just really vibed with. What is going on here? Oh, the cops have done something. Oh, that explains the helicopter. Can't park there, sir. Smart inside Vegas had a ton of fighting games at the bar counter. It's just, okay, that's cool. Actually, Imee took me to a pretty nice place for my birthday last year. I won't say the name of the place, but it was a D&D themed restaurant. They had pretty nice food there. All the walls and the counter was made to look like an old tavern that you'd expect from a fantasy game. They had some booths that you could sit in and actually play D&D there if you wanted to. They had like TV screens on the walls and stuff. All of the spirits and drinks, they were like potions. They were named after potions, so you could get your pots to fill up on. Doctors not go clubbing. Where the fuck does that road go? It's not even on the GPS. Actually, there's meant to be secret roads in this game. Yeah, the one we went to, you could get board games to eat with at your table, but we kind of got sucked into just talking with each other. We completely forgot about doing it. I think we even brought a couple board games to play when we were there, and we just never got around to it. Good time. I'd like to go again, but it's difficult planning stuff down in Sydney. Let me merge. Thank you. I'm a big truck. I can't stop quickly. Harry Potter themed coffee shop. Oh, I meant to be taking this. I'm looking at chat again. There's all these different themed, like, bars and restaurants and stuff around that I want to go to. The FF one in I think it's Shibuya. Shibuya is one that I want to go to. That would be great. I want to I want to go to the Library of Ruiner one, Magpie. So I get my fucking rollin' chocolate dessert, whatever it was. Almost miss exit drink, yep, true. Just gonna redline it while I drink, hang on. Oh, sure, about that place, Fun Fantasy Spot. I don't think I did. Well, there's a Ukrainian ahead. Monster Cafe would be fun. I'm kind of umming and ahhing about going to Japan next year. I would love to go, although it's a... No, never mind, no understeer, it's fine. I kind of want to go, but it's also a bit scary going by yourself to a different country that doesn't speak your language. And I would do my best to learn Japanese before going, but I don't know even how to begin because it's hard to find resources on how to do it. And I don't really want to pay for classes. What the fuck am I hearing? It sounds like my trailer's about to detach. There's like a clunking noise. Into Europe and... yeah, Europe would be cool. At least he didn't go to France. That could have been a worse feeling. Because even if you do speak the language, if you don't speak it right, they'll just wag their finger at you asking you to have to speak their language again. I had a lovely story of an engineer who was doing some stuff in France for work, and the hotel that he was living out, there was a little bakery fairly close by to it that he'd get up every morning and go to. He'd get a croissant and a coffee, and he'd go in and ask them, you know, ask for his food in French, and it wasn't particularly good French, but it was French nonetheless. And after a few days, he'd come in, since he'd order the same thing every time, we'd be sat there waiting for him when he come in, and you'd think, oh, they've been rather kind to him. They knew that he was becoming a regular, so they just got his food ready for him for when he'd go in, and he'd just pay them without saying a word, thank them, and then walk out. And then it got to the last day, and he told them that he was leaving, and he thanked them for being so kind, for getting his food prepared for him so quickly every morning. And when he said that, the lady over the counter just said to him, "Please never speak French again. We got your food ordered, your food ready early, so we wouldn't have to hear you speak our language." Which would be absolutely soul-crushing, but that's the French for you. Yeah, they can. That's why it's okay to make fun of the French, because they do it to everyone else. Basically, any European country is very jingoistic towards the countries around them, because it was a very tumultuous part of the world in terms of wars. French have fought the Spanish, have fought the English, have fought the Germans, fought the Austrians, fought themselves, fought the Italians. 40 kilometers an hour is an uncivilized speed. Baltic beef? If you want good beef, try Australian beef. We have world famous beef exports. It's because the history of the Baltics can be described as a series of unfortunate events. How many countries no longer exist because of the shit that goes on in the Baltics? Is Bosnia still around? Or are they gone now? Or is Bosnia in the Balkans? Bosnia's still a country. Okay, good for them. Czechoslovakia's gone. They're the Czech Republic now. And are much smaller. Oh, cars on the side of the road. More cops. Oh, that means I need to slow down. Don't pin me. I just pulled over one of the fucking charges. Another 198k to go. Prague would be nice. There was a man on YouTube who would go around quite a lot of ex-Soviet countries, as well as some other places in the Balkans and Baltics, and despite all the shit that goes on there, apparently they're still very nice people. Noted he did speak the language, but there was a lot of times he'd just get invited over to people's houses for dinner or lunch and just sit there and chat with them, and they're all very kind. Probably shouldn't go by yourself still, but no, it couldn't be the worst place to go to. Yeah, don't go to Armenia and talk highly about the Turks. They don't like that. What the fuck? Was that the Google Street View car? Yeah, the US forces who were kind of in the know about local traditions, they treated those meetings pretty highly. Oh, rain. We're generally more friendly and easygoing when they will have a common regional enemy to unite against, pretty much. Same with sports. It's like here with our football. You go for your local sports team and whoever's going against the Bulldogs. Yeah, I know it's probably a pretty difficult thing to do, but I think it's always a good idea to try to learn as much of a local language as you can before visiting a country, especially if you're going to be spending any significant amount of time there. Because part of visiting another country and experiencing it is experiencing the locals. This is actually a rather pretty view, despite being fairly flat and not much around. Nice little fog. But yeah, interacting with the locals is a big part of visiting another country, and that's kind of a thing that worries me about going to Japan, just not being able to speak to people there. Which I know there's probably quite a few people there who can speak English, but it's still, there's the principle of I don't want to go to another country to speak my language or make other people speak my language because they are the locals, I'm just a guest. They shouldn't have to do that for me. Oh yeah, definitely they're very fatigued. My dad was telling me about one of his mates went to Japan and was in which city? Was it Shinjuku? Or was that a like a suburb kind of thing? Prefecture? Regardless, it was a big city. Is that Sakaru? They're in a big city, and if you see the videos of people driving around in the Mario Karts and they dress up and they got all the flashing lights and they just drive around the cities dressed as Mario characters in the go-karts. Apparently tourists really like doing that, they find it very fun, but the locals, it shits them off to no end seeing those things going around. There's all this touristy stuff that people absolutely love doing, and it's the stuff that people always say, oh, when you go to this country, you gotta do it, it's so much fun. But it just annoys the locals, and I don't know why people are so happy to go about doing it if that's the consequence. Especially with a culture like Japan, where kind of standing out is frowned upon and they're very high about manners and being curt. For Vegas, slow too, because you've got a lot of international tourists. But isn't that the entire thing that Vegas has branded itself about, which is certain level of excess and outgoingness. Monster is considered the old Vegas Strip. Okay. So the new strip is the one that has all the big casinos on it and whatnot. That's the one that everyone thinks of when they think of Vegas. Nice. Good to hear. Yes, with the fountains and stuff. Okay. So if you want to drink expensive alcohol and lose all of your money on gambling, you go to the new strip, and if you want to have actual good time, you go to the old strip. I'm assuming that's the case. Gotcha. I'll keep that in mind if I ever decide to go to Vegas, which doesn't feel very likely unless I have some massive midlife crisis. Those stars are rather nice. I will indeed do that. Although I just don't understand the appeal of the gambling that people do on the new strip. It doesn't seem fun. Maybe... Ooh, fuck no. Oh, I thought he crashed. Okay, never mind. He's all good. If you just go in with $100 and you just do it for the novelty of it, I can see the fun there, but the casino can't exist if people just do that. They need the people who take $1,000 in or even more and lose it all in a couple of spins of roulette. Actually, really fancy and you get free drinks. Yeah. I guess that's an appeal. But then the problem is, if you're doing well at gambling, you're actually winning, they just cut you off. They start cheating on their own after accusing you of cheating. If you're winning at blackjack or poker, because you're counting cards, which isn't inherently illegal, there's nothing wrong with it, it's just being good at the game, then they cut you off, which, in my eyes, is absolutely cheating. It's so stupid. Which is probably what forces the whole, you know, the casinos always win. That whole mantra. Yeah, whatever, $20 most, but enjoy the atmosphere and drink sometimes. It does sound like a bit of fun. Then again, if you want to have fun gambling, you know where you do it. GTA 5 Casino. It's genuinely a lot of fun. Like Magpie and I and some other friends will sometimes, very rarely, but we've done it on occasion, jumped into GTA 5 and went to the casino there to do gambling. Which then sometimes turns into a punch-up for funsies, but you know. You never done GTA Online? I swear you were there at one point. Or was it... Oh no, I might be thinking of when you guys were doing the VR poker. That's why you might have been there. See how far you can get in 2 to 3 hours and call it. I don't think you're getting $100 very far. It's not so expensive to spend hours doing small table. I am a little amazed that people make a full-on living out of it to begin with, but there is a decent amount of skill that goes into some of the gambling that people do. Do I want to do a proper parking job? I'll give it a go. Actually, that position's kind of fucked. Okay, I'm going to do a loop to get in there. Travel delivery drink. I tell you what, drinking and driving is kind of difficult when you're spending your whole time driving and focusing on that. It's a little hard to get into the drinking part of it. This isn't like playing with our friend Walshy, who just, the moment the hand starts, he just goes all in, and you can't do anything but fucking fold to him. I need... How do I bring my mirrors again? Fuck. Not that. Not that. There we go, I need my mirrors. I can't see anything. No, the problem is with Walshy, the majority of the time he is bullshitting, and he has no fucking cards, but then sometimes he's just got a god hand deck, or a god hand, and you get fucked over, because, you know, it's all in. Why is this fucking parking spot like this? Why are you coming from a different direction? Who parked the forklift there? Played Lies Bar as a group, but we have not. I may end up just saying fuck it to this job, all because of this goddamn forklift. I don't know how to do this. That forklift is screwing at it. Apex fucks up the park. Take a drink. There you go. Nah, this is fucked. Unless I pull it in from over here, and then I can drag it a different way. That's just doing the same thing. Customer expects a delivery very soon. I'm here! Stop fucking complaining! Going this way. Keep it straight. Oh, I start the turn too late. I might have. Let's go third person and just see what I've done. I could get there. Straighten the trailer up. I've missed the parking spot. I can't see it anymore. Nope, I completely missed it. Okay. I need to have another go with this. It's fine. Oh, I think that was my compression brakes starting to go. Third person is acceptable, is it? I know the angle I have to get it in at, but it's a little hard to start it. Okay, I need to straighten up a little bit here, turn a little bit more. Straighten up. A little bit that way. So bring it right a little bit. There we go. Got it in. I just needed a better starting point. I could have done that first person. It is a lot more difficult with a sleeper cab. A good chug. Alright. There we go. I think I can do one more quick job. With somewhere close. That is not close. It's one of those 600 Ks. That goes in Oklahoma. 397, 2000. Nope. That's 500 Ks, but that gives no money. 681's not too bad. It's 64. Avoiding Texas. I don't get a choice of where some of these go to. One goes into Texas, that goes to Dallas. That's 900 Ks. I can do that. $30,000 for the job. Oh, there's Vegas. Generally, you go for money per kilometer. So that's $27 per kilometer. 32 there, 24, 23. They have modeled Vegas. Hang on, there's there. Can I do a destination into Vegas? No, that's exiting. No? What does it want me to... Oh, it's NV. I've got no idea. What's something that ends up in Vegas? St. George, Arizona. So I can just teleport to one of these places. There's nothing that wants to go into Texas, into Vegas. Phoenix into Las Vegas. There we go. I will teleport there. And you can do a job. Where was it? It was Phoenix. Arizona. There we go. They did a decent job with Vegas. It's one city they did a pretty good job of making it look fleshed out and alive. It's not a very long trip, so it'll probably still be nighttime when we get there. You would hope so, yeah. There's plenty of people who complain in this game that they don't do their state justice. Just gonna grab some fuel. Yeah, they get into it eventually. It's probably going to take them another couple of years because they're going west to east with state releases. Yeah, fucking white monster. I've never had white monster. I don't even know if I want to because I don't drink energy drinks. I don't mind Red Bull. I do kind of like the taste of it, but I just don't drink it. I don't need energy drinks. I used to drink energy drinks when I was younger, but eventually got off of them. Jägerbombs sound nasty. Oh, going past a motel. You don't need to take the corner that wide. Alright. Scaffolding into Vegas. I almost said New Vegas then. Not going to that one. Jaeger is like a... It's almost like a cough syrup for old people in Germany, but then, like, frat guys turned into some insane drink. Insane party drink. I don't get how the fuck they got to that point. I need to go to the toilet before we start this next leg of the journey. One moment. Alright, back on the road. This is a good looking truck, that's what it's doing. Let's get the windows down so you can hear the roar of that engine. Fuzzy buzz going yet, a little bit. There is one alcoholic drink I want to try, which I feel like it's probably a bad idea, and it's fucking absinthe. I don't know why I want to try it so bad. Absinthe just looks nasty. I imagine it being, like, thick and gloopy from the way that people talk about it. Like you almost eat it. And speaking of earlier, how different alcohol has a different kinds of drunk that it gives you, absinthe is meant to be just fucked up. You should do it at least once. I probably should. But the problem is, I'd have to buy a full fucking bottle of it, and then if I absolutely hate it, it's just gonna sit there for all eternity. What's your opinion on sake? I haven't had it. Use it as a cleaner. And what, stain everything green? Sake would be nice to try. It probably just tastes like alcohol. Again, that's my problem with spirits. Even if they're all fairly different from each other, I just taste the alcohol and nothing else. It's probably just because I've tried having it straight with nothing else, and that may be the problem that I'm having. It's been years since I've had spirits at this point, so maybe I'd have a different experience with it now, because I think I've got a different palate now. Be careful with soju, it's really easy to drink and it's very high alcohol content. I mean, you guys all saw how bad Amy got with it, that one stream. It goes down like water until you get to the last little bit of the bottle, and then it gets very sickly. Come on, give me the green light. So shake up before to evenly spread. I'm not saying like there's something wrong with the bottle you're drinking, it's just the taste of it. Once you get, at least for me, once I get to the end of the bottle and you've got the last few mouthfuls, I don't know if it's just the alcohol or the taste itself gets to be a bit too much over time, but I find that it's a little sickly to do the last couple sips of it. Whereas when you first start drinking it, it's quite easy to put down, and you can go through it very quickly. You just get blasted on it. It's a very sweet drink, that's the problem for me. I prefer savoury most of the time. So as far as some sweet things go, I can't do a huge amount. I prefer brand in a can, basically. Then again, Guinness gets a bit much once you're at the end of your second or third can. You can taste the carbs in your tongue. You gotta be a little careful of the brand you go for as well, because there's one brand that doesn't taste as good as the other. And I was being told this at the first FC meetup we did for the Final Fantasy Guild. And the people we were with were very much in the know of good soju and bad soju, and they said that, yeah, there's one brand that doesn't taste anywhere near as good. I do not want bacon flavored vodka, that doesn't sound nice. I think I've been driving for 3 hours now, and I've yet to get a ticket. And I've barely been paying attention to the road and actively drinking, so I think I've kind of done alright tonight. I did not pay attention to the trailer just then. Are my windows still down? No, they're not. Good. I don't want to crash at some point, because that means repairing the truck, and that's really expensive. I think I've got 200,000 in the bank at the moment. I'll probably cover the fucking transmission. It's cheaper to buy a new truck than to refurbish one in this. Why are we poof? What? Poor? Oh no, at 368,000. Oh no, I can probably cover the truck with that, but I still don't want to. And with crashing, do you have to pay to fix when you get back on? Hang on, roundabout. It is very sad that you have to write yield on the entrance to a roundabout. That should just be common knowledge for every driver out there. Whenever you crash, if you do enough damage, you can actually start having errors with your truck. It'll just start randomly shutting off and you gotta get it repaired. But there's permanent damage as you go along, so even if you do repair a bit of the damage, you accrue some permanent damage which stays there. The only way to get rid of it is refurbishing your truck, which is fucking expensive. Although that's more engine damage. If you get permanent damage to, say, like wheels or brakes, you can just replace those because they're easily replaceable. But if it's like damages to your frame or your engine, you need to do a rebuild, and it can cost almost as much as a new truck. I've had a bus driver do that. I don't know why the fuck he did it, but there's a roundabout near me that used to be just like a flat bit of... There was no like median, like raised curbs on it. It was just like this almost flat, slightly rounded bit of greenery with some shrubbery on it, and he just drove over it one day because that was easier than going around. I don't think there was many people on the roundabout, so it was a lot easier to do without getting caught out. But yeah, that was a thing for a bus driver to do. Yeah. We used to have a lot of fun on buses back in school. There's this bit of road that the bus would go along, and along the sides of it, they'd be curved down quite a bit towards the gutter, but then when you got up to a connecting road, it would hump up like 1.5 meters. And so you'd be driving along the left lane and it'd be dipping down to the left into the gutter, but then when you hit the bit of road that connects to it from the off street, it would ramp. And if you timed it right, you could jump on the bus and you'd slam into the ceiling because of the extra bit of lift you got as you went over the hump. guy that ran the gate of the Air Force Base, went straight into the roundabout, 6 mile per hour. Jesus. He would have had fun with the MPs. That would be a fantastic way of getting a close-up view of a rifle's flash hider. Was this Nellis Air Force Base? Ooh, you can hear the turbo of this thing winding up and down. I just noticed that. Yeah, it was Nellis, okay. That's the big one. At least he didn't try it out at Tonopah. Whole northeast Vegas area around the base was ghetto as heck. Okay. Heading to 5 AM traffic. Alright. I hope everyone's going right, not straight. I got my high beams on. Sorry. I'm not going to scream too many profanities at other motorists tonight. There is one airport near me. Ooh, stop slowing down, fuck's sake. There's one airport near me and it's mainly just surrounded by farmland. I think the nearest suburb is a little bit upmarket as well. Does the drink harm your nerves? Maybe. If someone well and truly cuts me off, I am going to scream at them. Oh, there's a wonderful thing my mates and I were doing this to each other when you're driving along. If you get too close to a car, they'll slam their brakes on and almost come to a full stop. So if someone's in another lane and they have a car in front of them, if you overtake and get up beside that car, you just have to edge over to it a little bit and it slams its brakes on, it just throws it back at them like a fucking Mario Party turtle shell. You were going fast, now you're going slow. God damn it. Imagine Heathrow is pretty well up there. Fucking classic. Someone's sitting in the overtaking lane, doing the same speed as everyone else and holding people up. Taking that exit. Plan to sell the record for the busiest since '98. Wouldn't want to be an employee there. Oh, give us the green. We've got all these trucks here. Las Vegas. Tower controls have to be a very stressful job. Okay. That's pretty cool. So you've got two ATC families here. Is that a Camaro in front of me? I think it looks like a Chevy. I kind of hope this looks like Nevada. Everything's very scaled down, so it's, I don't think any of the roads are gonna look familiar. So, what, is at least one of them Air Force then? If one's a ATC? Ah, gotcha. Closest I've got to that is my grandfather on my mother's side built airfields for the Air Force during World War II. I'm going way too fast on this road. Here we go, here's Vegas. Does this look familiar at all? That's my turnoff. Yeah, coming from the south. Almost missed you, drink. I don't think Nellis would be here. It's... They've modeled Vegas, but it's very limited. If I was still playing Digital Combat Sim, which is a flight sim, I could have shown you all of Vegas, including Nellis Air Force Base, all the way out to Tonopah and a bit further out. Well, there's a plane taking off over there, so there may be Nellis. Does this at least have the vibe of, ooh, get close to you. The vibe of Vegas? Nellis isn't present, gotcha. Just note, I do not know how to drive properly in third person. I do not have the feel for it. Yeah, there's, Vegas. Yeah, I'll do a run up the strip. It's too hard driving third person. Funnily enough, I find it more difficult to get a feel for how much the truck is turning in third person compared to first. Why doesn't America bury its presidents in the Bass Pro Shop like the Egyptians do with their pyramids? It's patriotic guns and fishing. Oh, there's a ticket. I was doing 65 and a 56. Four kilometers from the last delivery and I got a ticket. Because I'm not paying attention to the speed. Where was the cop? Where was he? Is that him there? No, it's not. There's no traffic cameras, it's just if a police car spots you. Except for red lights. You can get done for running red lights. Ooh, can I make this? Yes. I can probably do that. That's what we call in Australia revenue raising. How will I approach this? I need to turn around for one thing. Get my mirrors going. Yeah, Metro PD. I'm going in the wrong way. It's Highway 215 on the map. Maybe. There's 93, 95. I don't know which one this is. Doesn't say. This is basically all of Las Vegas. Again, this game is very limited with how it does the cities. Or would you just go out for a drive on the highway and just circle around the town, or was it just the easiest one to use? Best night drives, yeah. I've been doing that recently, just going out at, I don't know, 10 o'clock at night and just driving around. It's a lot of fun to do. I love driving, I hate traffic, so just going out late at night when there's no one else about, it is wonderful. Yeah, easy. One side you get over here to with the town, the other side's just a quiet empty hill mountains. That does sound fun. Especially in your Ford GT. Oh, for a chug. Oh, it's the last one here, actually. Hang on a sec. Where am I going? I think I'm about to rejoin the highway. Kind of. There's my garage. I don't know where the strip would be. I don't think the Vegas strip is actually here. It's just like a couple delivery points, a garage, and a service station. I'll see what's there. I'll cross over to the other side. There might be something close to it. It looks like the other side is where all the stuff would be. Maybe. I'll see the pyramid. It is wild that Vegas has one of the largest pyramids in the world. Nice Subaru, mate. Nicolas Cage's grave. Yeah, I think the Bass Pro Shop in Vegas is actually one of the largest pyramids in the world. One of. I don't know if it's the. But it's pretty big. I'm pretty sure it's one. Actually, I'm pretty confident. That was a helicopter landing. And the sound is coming from the wrong direction. Oh, he bounced. That's a big fucking selfie stick. Vegas sign, did I miss it? Oh, back there. Which way do I go? I can go left and then cross over and then just do a loop around. Oh, my headphones are on the right way. I'm going to do a very stupid thing. Excuse me. I do not care about fines at this point. I couldn't go straight there, there was an invisible wall. That looks industrial over there. think this is a right on red state. Yes, it is. What is it that Theo Von called that? It's, was it the heroic merge? When you're in the far left lane and your exit is coming up and you've got 3 lanes to merge over to get to it, so you just close your eyes and stick the steering wheel to the right. It's that, or people miss their turn off and then just stop and reverse to it. I believe I've almost entirely missed the strip because I don't know it exists in this game. So many traffic lights. There you go, mate. Is that feed? Brains? Can't do the left because it's an invisible wall. Have you been there before, Sky Noodle? I've got too many gears to go up from a stop to do this over and over again. Wait, they have a roller coaster up where? Up the needle? Interesting. There's a straight view car again. Bungee jumping seems so fucking scary. I couldn't do that. It'd be an awful experience. The zipline sounds cool. Does any of this actually look like Vegas, or is like a one-to-one recreation? Or is all this just sort of copying the look and the vibe of Vegas. There's a photo opportunity right in the center of the intersection there. I can't see where it is. Guess unfortunately the trip through this area here is a little short. Yeah, that's about it. So I go straight ahead here, I'll pull into the garage and then I'll probably leave things there. So I do have work tomorrow. Yeah, that's the best you can ask for with this game. I didn't drink that much. It'll be fine. Don't you worry. It's also getting close to 1 in the morning. Again, I'll be fine. I only really need 7 hours of sleep. It's getting a little noisy now. No worries. Hopefully, it wasn't a disappointment, because this game does compress things down and really, yeah, shrinks down a lot of the cities. The fountains would be nice to see. I was gonna discuss what game to play next after this, or just in general, and I was thinking of doing another side, but it probably wouldn't be, you know, stream after stream trying to get through it to finish it. It'll probably be, you know, one stream other side, one stream something else, because it is a very big game, and I couldn't, you know, dedicate and everything towards it. So I just gotta find a time to queue it up for, which I could do Tuesday in a couple days. There we go. That's like 3.5, almost 4 hours worth of driving. It would be fun to start other side from scratch as well, because every time I've gone back to play it, I just pick up my old save because it is more or less a roguelike, so you just start one of the earlier runs of it and you can pick it up pretty quickly, but starting off completely fresh and having to unlock all of the upgrades and everything, that would be fun to do again. Yeah, I'll probably get that organized. Other side. I haven't even finished the game yet. I don't even know what difficulties there are to actually play it on. I've also got to reinstall it, but that won't take long to do. Again, I got to I think the last era, because that's how it's split up. That you got 5 or 6 different eras, which are 7 days each. The 7th day being the boss fight. So I got that queued up download. Sonic Expo Friday onward, and then out for the rest of the month. I see. I've not played Space Marine. I might have the game in my library, the first one, I think. But yeah, I've not played it. Nah, I don't have it. Doesn't look like. Space Marine does look interesting. Oh no, I've got Space Marine Anniversary. Yeah, I could give that a go sometime. I do need to play Space Marine 2 eventually, so that would be a good way of leading into it by actually playing the first game. Yeah, our last trials as well. That'll be fun. I do want to do that. The Space Marine 2 multiplayer. Where is? Yeah, here we go. Here's your lore primer. Ah, it's muted, is it?
Golden Jesus had 18 sons, but the favorite one said, Daddy, banging my sister is great, but Demon
I
Coochie
love this
isn't
guy, he's so
better.
fucking
Now,
funny.
of the said sons, we have the promotional material. If they were black or Chinese, sibling rivalry. Dark Souls, Purple Griffith, Cybernetic Engineer, Cannibal Space Viking, Anger Management Vampire, Egyptian Wizards, Identity Crisis. You, a Nazi general, and a British geezer will fight Eldritch Horror with a flashlight. Roided up, mommy nun, replace your lungs with a V8 engine. We gave a cinder block a knife and a gun. Pacific Rim 3, The Return of Christ. A Super Saiyan with a bald side chick. Jarate, Mystique, we're going to pump you up with 10 liters of Rage Potion and let you loose in a schoolyard. It really sucks to be around them. Exterminatus on the Twin Churches.
It probably makes absolutely no sense if you know nothing about 40k, but it is all very accurate.
Dickery and bullshittery that one really, really fat streamer Pornhub Prime. Santa's elves in a mobile home. Suicide really is the only logical option. You
Ah,
are
the
what
Shikari.
you eat. I was molested by a clown. The power of imagination. Skeletron Prime put Cthulhu in a fucking Pokeball. Millennials with Gundam.
Congratulations, there's your primer. That is all you need to know about 40k going into it. Yeah, I guess I can start up other side, and then in between that, I can do Space Marine, and then perhaps Space Marine 2 after, and then maybe something else. I'll find things to do, but at the moment I need to head to bed because it is getting late. Oh yes, servitors, that's always a thing that people have to react to, especially the cherubs. That's fun. So yeah, I'll get the next stream scheduled up and ready. And you as well, Magpie. I hope everyone else has a good day. Don't drink too much, Nombi. Yeah, it was a good yapping thing. Oh nice, you got 2 weeks off. Awesome. Apex is ending stream, you have to drink. Alright, well, I'll run off and I've got to get ready to bed and get in for work. So, I'll see you all next time. Have a good one. Bye, Pex.